Hi guys, so this is just a little video for you, especially if you're new to gardening, just to give you a few little tips and ways to extend the season. So I'm filming this the back end of October. Hopefully you'll have started to have been thinking about winter from maybe September. So I'm going to share with you kind of my thoughts on how I go about things to try and extend the season, because if it's your first year, you're probably starting to panic a little bit if the leads and new jobs and customers are just maybe starting to dry up a bit. Right, so the first thing I do is from about September so that's when I start thinking about winter, and the first thing I try and do is extend the season as much as possible. So just to give you some context and an idea, we're going away for 1 week the back end of November, so there'll be 3 weeks roundabouts in November where I can kind of get the bulk of what I want to do in the winter before Christmas. So I've got a few bits after Christmas and I'll get onto that in a sec. So it's worth saying now as well, so this year I will be doing a full kind of week of grass cuts into the first week in November. Last year I think I stopped the last week in October, so it's very much weather dependent, and I never tell customers exactly when it's going to be up till. I kind of say just when it stops growing, and that gives you like leeway to kind of go roughly as long as you want. Some people I know just cut all the way through. I'm not quite sure how that works myself, because grass does stop generally, although these temperatures seem to be getting quite mild now. But yeah, so some people do cut all the way through, and some people won't take on a lawn or a garden unless they can come all the way through winter. So yeah, so it's each to their own, and it's just very much depends on how you like to do things as well. But that's what I do. But what I like to do is kind of have in my mind from December to maybe the first week, second week, depending on the weather in January, I'll have that time off, with the understanding the first week in December acts as a bit of a buffer, that any kind of new jobs that I get from now onwards, I can kind of put on the end of that and do them at the start of December. Or if the weather is bad, which it will be in November, I can kind of extend it a little bit, knowing fine well I'm going to get a good 5 or 6 weeks off over Christmas and New Year. So that is the idea. And again, I'll get into January in a second. So what other things can you do to make sure you're kind of, extending the season and getting the work and keeping the money coming in? Because it was a bit of a funny one. So my first winter, our daughter was born, and we were okay financially. My partner had a decent job, luckily, and I didn't do any advertising. I just thought, right, I'm gonna spend the majority of it like kind of in the house, looking after the little one. So I think from that second winter, that's when I really had to kind of develop a planning strategy, because phone calls are very, very few and far between. Obviously it was my first year, word hadn't got round that I was doing gardening as much as sort of it has now. I wasn't advertising, I wasn't putting anything on social media, and the calls just like they dried up. So that's what can and probably will happen in those early years. So like, be warned, you have to kind of be active, and from September onwards. So the gardens that I have grass cuts for, sometimes some of them, through the year, the customers say, oh, can you cut this back, can you cut that back, and then you get a bit extra work that way. And that's what I do now going forward. So I only really take on grass cuts if we're talking about fortnightly customers now, because the space is quite limited. And then I'll say to the customer, but if you do have other bits and pieces, I'm happy to do that throughout the year. And that's normally, a good deal maker, and they're quite happy going forward with that. So as I say, from September onwards, I'll kind of like pinpoint the little jobs that might need doing, and I'll say to the customer, I'll say something like, I'm just planning my diary, starting to pencil jobs in. Do you want us to do X, Y, and Z? It'll be from November onwards. I always say when my grass cuts stop, because you don't want to be messing about with other jobs if you chock-a-block with grass cuts. Obviously, if you haven't got as many grass cuts on and you need obviously other work, that's fine. But the way I do it, not just grass cuts, I mean, I do maintenance jobs, full maintenance jobs, your borders and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'll say to the customer, so from November onwards, when my grass cuts stop. And that just starts to build the diary up. Any kind of new customers from that point onwards, I'll say, are you okay to wait to November you just sort of say, I'm still chock-a-block with the grass cuts, I haven't got much time, but if you can wait another sort of, however, a month or two, then, I'm happy to get you booked in, and I haven't found that to be a problem either. So you make sure you kind of, if you have Facebook pages, social media pages, you're active on there at this time of year. If you join I've joined some local groups, in the areas that I do work, and I kind of post maybe like once a week from September, just obviously saying like winter jobs, my diary's filling up kind of thing, getting quick free quotes and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot better sounding than that. But yeah, that's the idea. Make sure anything on social media, make sure you have good before and after photos, or just good photos of nice gardens. Get your best ones on there. I see so many like Facebook posts, and like they'll have a before and after, and like on the after picture, you're like searching for what they've done, and they might have done like a tiny little border, cleared it out, and the rest of the garden's crap, and you just think, wow, come on. Like, people will just look for a split second and they'll just probably see a crap garden, but you've really took the time to do that nice border, but it just gets missed. So make sure your pictures that you put on are like, the best you can. So you may have to branch out as well, winter work. So I started off doing jet washing, so me get it, and I'm going to be doing it again because I do get asked, and that's a really good one to kind of just do. So I'll tell my customers now that I do jet washing over January and February. And that again just extends the season into winter. I think I've got about 6 jobs booked in with 2 quotes to go, and that's before I've even like advertised externally. That's just through like my existing customers. So that's perfect, and they're like big ticket jobs, really, like 150 plus. I think all of them. So that's a real, to get that sort of money in January. Plus, I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, I've got some hedges in there as well. I'm not chock-a-block, but it's enough just to kind of keep it ticking over, pay the bills. That's, I put away in a winter fund from, all throughout the rest of the year. That goes into a pot that basically is, if I don't get any jobs, which is, it's never going to happen because I will always get work, especially now 6 years down the line. But if I didn't get any of that, I've got my bills covered for winter, so it's not the pressure and worry. And if you're new, you can build up to that, and that's the idea. Just always have a provision. That's really important, especially as well. I've got this on again. My wrist, I can feel it a little bit again. Not bad, but it's just, if this flares up over winter, I've got a pot there that'll see us through. So you've got to be mindful. It's basically being self-employed, and it's part of the course. So what can we actually do through winter? So the first thing is try and get extra grass cuts in. So don't fleece customers. If the grass doesn't need cutting, once it's kind of getting that late October, early November, that's fine. If you've got lawns where it gets full of leaves, debris and all that, you might want to run them over it to tidy it up, and that's fine. You can kind of speak to the customer about that and come to an agreement. There's some lawns I'm cutting now. I'm filming this a week before Halloween, and it's so long. The weather's been favourable. We've had quite a bit wet weather going back 3 or 4 weeks. Temperatures are mild, and it's just everything's shot up again. So I'm going through and making a list and saying, look, I might need an extra grass cut. So that just extends that. So that's a nice, easy little learner. That's fine. Hedge work, cutting things back, pruning, leaf clearances. These are all big autumn jobs, and you want to be not pushing it, but being kind of a bit proactive with your existing customers. And then obviously any external customers that are coming in, your social media posts, whatever you might do advertising wise, you want to be really proactive. So if you're handy, you can do kind of fence repairs and stuff. I wouldn't like to charge people for that. I could have a bash at my own fence, I kind of do a bit of a bodge job, but I wouldn't like to charge for that. Any kind of harder landscape and stuff, so turfing, not really this time of year, it's no good. But if, bark, chippings, gravel, making new areas like that, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else, but there will be. So this is the time where you do have to branch out. As I say, jet washing is a brilliant one to do. It's you know, big ticket jobs. Anyone can start that. And what I do as well, I started this last year, is doing gutter cleans. So you can go kind of the full hog and get all the gear, the Hoover things that go right at the top of the gutter, suck, you know, suck all the stuff up. I have started to do bungalows. I'm just kind of getting up there on the ladder, getting it out of my hand, little jet wash, wash everything down, all the gutter and pipes, fascias and stuff. So that's what I'll start to do. I don't fancy climbing up to the top of a big house, and I don't really fancy spending a canny bit on all the gutter cleaning stuff, because I mean, I guess it's like everywhere, there's plenty of people around who are doing gutter cleans, and I do know some window cleaners who do that, and it kind of encroaches on their area a little bit. So I've said, you know, existing customers, bungalows, I'm happy to clean your gutters and stuff, so that's a good one. And if you really want to kind of think outside the box, there's things like Christmas decorations, putting them up for people. I know people who have kind of gone into like flat pack furniture for people, like really like kind of left field. You may have to get a part-time job if you're in your early days and you obviously can't afford to live. These are like the realities in the early years of being a gardener at this time of year, because competition is fairly rife. You know, it can be a struggle, and it certainly was kind of in my first years. Well, as I said, I didn't do anything, but my second year was, you know, I just had to get through that. I wasn't chock-a-block. Another one is, I'm just kind of talking and thinking, is allotments. So if you near like allotments, you might just want to like kind of, I don't know, have a wander around and see if anyone needs any help over winter, kind of like digging it over, or, you know, getting it winter ready, you know, just obviously for the labour, and do kind of the heavy lifting and stuff. That might be something. So I'll leave that one there, guys. There'll be all sorts of kind of stuff here, but they're the main things, and it's what I do. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.